What's up, girls? My name is Miss Alex and I am the Ambassadors Program Specialist at Girls Inc. Today we're going to draw our own wellness wheels. So why don't you grab some paper, some pens, pencils, whatever you have, and we'll sit down and draw our own wellness wheels together. Okay ladies, now that we've gathered our supplies, I'm going to teach you about the wellness wheel. So first I labeled mine, as you can see, Miss Alex's wellness wheel. Unless your name is Alex, yours is going to be named different, so just call it whatever you want. Next, what I'm going to need you to do is to draw a circle in the middle of your paper. I traced a coffee lid, but you can do whatever you want as long as it looks kind of circly. So the wellness wheel is this idea that there are 6 pieces of wellness that we need to focus on to be our healthy selves. The best thing is that it's not just about your physical wellness, it's about all these different kinds of wellness pieces that I'm about to teach you. So there are 6 dimensions of wellness. This first idea came in 1971 from a guy named Bill Hattler, but we're gonna make ours personalized into our own. So the first thing we need to do is break our circle into 6 pieces. So I'm gonna draw a line down the middle, and then I'm gonna draw like an X. That way I get 6 pieces of wellness. So the first piece I'm gonna focus on is spiritual. So I'm going to pick whatever color I want, and I'm just going to pick one of the parts and I'm going to color it in. So spiritual wellness is how someone's beliefs and values line up with their actions. So this is how we think of our lives, how we think of our interactions in life. So I'm going to label mine spiritual. So for some people that's praying or meditating or being outside in nature, but for me it's journaling. So I am going to pick a journal looking thing. That way I remember how I take care of my spiritual wellness. So this is what we're going to do for every component. We're going to pick a color, we're going to label it, and we're going to pick an icon that helps us remind ourselves of our goals or what we do to take care of ourselves for that component. So our next one is our environmental component. So I'm going to pick another color and another place. And this is our environmental wellness. Go ahead and label that. So our environmental wellness is the way that you live life with the earth and minimize our impact on our environment. So something I do, which is super easy, is I recycle. So if you are able to, in your neighborhood, I highly recommend you recycle. That way we don't use as much resources that our earth has. So I drew a little recycling symbol. Alrighty, so our next component is our emotional wellness. So go ahead, pick another color, another area, and color that in. And we're going to label that emotional. So your emotional wellness is how you're positive, enthusiastic about you and your life. It's also about having healthy relationships and support systems around you. So this one's kind of tough to do right now considering we all have to stay at home, but I think something that really helps me is FaceTime. My friends are all over the country, so I'm going to draw a little phone screen and a smiley face. Because FaceTime is really helping me connect with my friends, and I still have my support group even though I can't be with them in person. Alright, so we're going to keep moving on, and our next component is intellectual. So I'm going to make mine yellow because yellow makes me think of a light bulb, and light bulbs make me think of good ideas. And we're going to label this one intellectual. So intellectual dimension of wellness is about being creative, stimulating your mind, your brain, getting to do those mental activities. So for some people that's reading, doing a puzzle. I like to play bananagrams with my friends. It's kind of like Scrabble where we pick different tiles and write words. So I am going to try to make a bananagram board. That gets my mind going with the spelling, but it doesn't feel like it because I'm playing a game. So that's my intellectual. All right. Moving on, we have our physical component. This one is what most people think about when we think of being healthy and well, is how we get our bodies moving. But as you see, there are so many different components to wellness that physical isn't the only thing that really matters. So let's label this. Physical is something that's also hard. I think it's important if we are able-bodied to get up and moving and making sure that we take care of our bodies. It's a little difficult right now because gyms are closed, or we're not going to gym class through school or anything like that, but we can still do stuff like yoga, as that video with Miss Emily saw, or we can do home workouts, we can go for walks. I like to do yoga, so I'm going to try to draw my little stick figure doing a warrior pose on the yoga mat. Our last component is social, so I only have my one area left, and I'm going to make this one blue. All right. And I'm going to label this social. So our social wellness is about how we interact with one another, how we interact with our families, our friends. This one's the toughest one to do right now because we can't stay home, but kind of like our emotional one, I think there's technology and all these different ways that we can keep up with our friends now anyway. My best friend lives all the way across the country in Seattle, so I am going to draw an old kind of phone. That way it's a little different from my FaceTime one, to remind me that I can always call her up, even though we are not in the same state or time zone for that matter. So these are our different dimensions of wellness. And the fact that it's a wheel is because it's all about balance. So what happens when we have too much spiritual and not enough emotional? Our wheel's gonna roll this way. Or maybe we have too much intellectual, we're focusing too much on work, and we're not having enough fun with our emotions, and then we're gonna roll this way. The most important thing is that we make our wellness wheel stay balanced. And so in the middle here, you can also draw this circle in the middle as a nice reminder that this is where you are. So we need to do our very best to remember that it's a balance. Thank you for watching.